Bill Henshaw here again, your friendly constitutional kook out in California. And another item been in the news lately, and for a little different turn now from what Congress was planning to do, which is a matter of Puerto Rico becoming a state. Between you and me, not an idea I'm especially in love with, but that's a story for another day. But earlier on, they were considering passing a bill that would allow Puerto Rico to vote to either stay as a territory, which they are, become independent, or become a state. What? You know anything about the Constitution, you know Article 4, Section 3, which to my knowledge hasn't been modified or repealed, spells it out. Congress has the power to admit new states. And that's a major big deal, especially with the justices of the U.S. Supreme Court today, because they know what's going on behind the scenes. And they know just as I do that the ratification with the capital R-A-T of the non-existent 14th War Amendment created new states. This with the capital S, by the way, which are corporate states. The states with the small s are the lawful de jure jus sanguinis states admitted into this union. And that's the ones we want back, right or wrong, or good or bad, excuse me. And we'll get back to the government. We had a federated Republican form of government of defined and limited powers, not the 51 elective despotisms we have today. And that was a great deal of concern to some of those racist framers like Madison and Jefferson in Federalist Papers 48. And nowadays, to the point, as I've mentioned in other videos, that we haven't had a lawful election since November the 6th, 1860. So you tell me what the problem is. But now what they're talking about doing is having Puerto Rico go through the procedures that appear to apply with Article 4, Section 3. But if Puerto Rico gets admitted, it still isn't going to be much of an improvement because it's going to be a state not recognized by the organic constitution. There'll be a state just like the other 50 elected despotisms, and all you have there are members of a subordinate corporate body politic who have no rights the de facto national socialist government is bound to respect. That's all it is these days. And we want it back. We want to get to our government, and we can make things better. It wasn't perfect. No one's saying that, but we can go back to the best government ever invented and make changes and do it the right way that benefit us, not the artificial corporations, and sure as hell not the New York banksters. It's got to stop and stop soon. And we have a window of opportunity with the U.S. Supreme Court now ending their third term and an all-out assault on the administrative state, which means they're going to have our backs on a lot of issues when we get there. They may not be able to rule on them as directly as they want, but trust me, they're going to go out of their way to find ways to take care of our cases so we come out of there with a win. And even if it isn't the big win we want, we'll get a win and get people off our backs. And if you do that in the Supreme Court, and I have a case there right now, and a second one going in there right now, if we do that, and you win in that court, now what the hell are they going to do? Because the Supreme Court tells everybody else what to do. So I'll be talking more about those issues later than today. But, you know, we'll see how this matter with Puerto Rico comes out and whether, you know, they do go through the Senate, which is currently controlled by Democrats. That may change with the next quote unquote election, and very probably will, given all the crap that's going on here. And Republicans, I expect to maintain control of the House too, for what that may be worth. And yeah, they're two different parties. They're not night and day different, but at least it's better to have the Republicans in there. And if Trump gets reelected, and I was not without problems with him in his 4 years, but if he does, give him credit for putting on Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and Neil Gorsuch on the court. And that's given them a conservative majority that if they win the next election, is going to last through the 2030s. And that's when we're going to see major big changes. They're going to reverse cases. The insular cases are among them, by the way. I'll talk more about that on the video. Those go back to the early 1900s. And the Supreme Court understands exactly. And they sound exactly like me when they're doing it. They know about that. You'll learn about that in another video. Trust me, it's exciting. But for now, we'll stay with Puerto Rico and see what happens here. And and how the mainstream media handles it, the mindless mainstream media who doesn't have a clue or doesn't want to have a clue. I don't know which way that is, but it's an interesting issue you should keep close track of. I'll be doing another video on this when the events make it a good idea to do it. It may not happen for a little while. This is only mid-June, so we'll see what develops. But that's the kind of thinking you'll develop by getting my modestly priced constitutional defense document packets. Send me an email, uwincourt@gmail.com. I'll get information back out to you, and you're going to love what's going on here. And we have a real chance to make a big difference and a good amount of pocket change too. But the difference is for us, our children, and our posterity. That's what the Supreme Court knows. If they would just tell the American people what they're doing and why, it would be a big help. John Roberts, if you happen to be listening. So it's an exciting time here. We have a real chance to get out from under. So we'll see how that works out. Remember to subscribe, like the videos, tell your friends, get the word out. Thank you.